In the beginning, before time was measured by the rising and setting of the sun, there was a perfect garden, a paradise called Eden. It was a place teeming with life, where rivers flowed with crystal clear water and every kind of beautiful tree grew. And into this world, God created the first man, Adam. He was formed from the dust of the earth, and God breathed into him the breath of life. Adam was given dominion over all the living creatures. He walked among the lions and the lambs, naming each one, and they lived in harmony. The Garden of Eden was his home, a place of pure joy and communion with his Creator. Every evening, in the cool of the day, God would walk with Adam in the garden. But amidst all this perfection, God saw that it was not good for the man to be alone. So, God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. While he slept, God took one of his ribs and, from it, fashioned the first woman, Eve. When Adam awoke and saw her, he recognized her as bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. They were a perfect pair, naked and unashamed, living in a state of complete innocence. In the center of the garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam and Eve a single command. He told them, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die." This was the one rule in their paradise, a test of their obedience and trust. For a time, they lived happily, tending the garden and enjoying their perfect existence. But there was a subtle creature in the garden, more crafty than any other beast of the field, the serpent. One day, the serpent approached Eve. It didn't challenge God's command directly at first. Instead, it planted a seed of doubt. Did God really say, it hissed, that you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Eve, perhaps curious, engaged with the serpent. She corrected it, saying, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." She knew the rule, but the serpent was ready with its deception. "You will not certainly die," the serpent lied, directly contradicting God. "For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The temptation was powerful. It wasn't just about a piece of fruit. It was about pride, about the desire for wisdom and power that wasn't rightfully hers. The serpent made disobedience look like an opportunity for enlightenment. Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful to the eye and looked delicious. And more than that, it was desirable for gaining wisdom. The serpent's words echoed in her mind. The doubt had taken root. In that moment of weakness, she reached out, took the fruit, and ate it. Her act of disobedience didn't stop there. She then went to Adam and gave him some of the fruit, and he ate it too. He was with her, and he chose to follow her lead rather than obey God's command. It was a shared decision, a mutual turning away from their Creator. The moment the fruit was eaten, everything changed. The Bible says their eyes were opened. But what they saw was not the godlike wisdom the serpent had promised. Instead, they saw their own nakedness. For the first time, they felt shame, guilt, and fear. The innocence they had known was shattered, replaced by an awareness of their own vulnerability and wrongdoing. They quickly gathered fig leaves and crudely sewed them together to cover themselves. Later that day, they heard the sound of God walking in the garden, a sound that once brought them joy. But now, it filled them with terror. They tried to hide from God's presence among the trees. The intimate relationship they once shared with their Creator was broken. God called out, "Adam, where are you?" It wasn't that God didn't know where he was. It was a call for Adam to account for his actions, an opportunity to confess. But Adam's response was filled with blame. "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." He blamed Eve, and indirectly, he blamed God for giving him the woman. God then turned to Eve and asked, "What is this you have done?" And she, in turn, blamed the serpent. "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." No one was willing to take full responsibility. The harmony of creation had been replaced by a cycle of blame and accusation. The consequences were swift and severe. God first addressed the serpent, cursing it above all other animals. It would crawl on its belly and eat dust all the days of its life. God also declared that there would be enmity between the serpent's offspring and the woman's offspring, a prophecy many believe points to a future Redeemer who would ultimately crush the serpent's head. To the woman, God said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." The beautiful partnership between man and woman was now marred by struggle and hierarchy. And to Adam God said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." Work, which was once a joyful part of tending the garden, would now be hard labor. And most tragically, they were now subject to physical death. The sentence was pronounced. But even in this moment of judgment, there was a hint of grace. God made garments of skin for Adam and Eve to replace their flimsy fig leaves, providing a more durable covering for their shame. It was the first sacrifice, a foreshadowing of the price that would one day be paid for sin. But they could no longer remain in paradise. God said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat, and live forever in this state of separation." So, God banished them from the Garden of Eden. He sent them out to work the ground from which Adam had been taken. To guard the way back to the tree of life, God placed on the east side of the garden mighty angelic beings called cherubim, and a flaming sword that flashed back and forth. The gate to paradise was closed. The world outside the garden was now a place of struggle, pain, and eventual death. Adam and Eve, the first man and woman, were now on their own, facing a new and difficult reality, carrying the weight of their choice and the hope of a promised redemption far off in the future. Their story is a timeless tale of innocence lost, the tragic consequences of disobedience, and the enduring nature of human struggle. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the great stories of history. We'll see you next time.